live on IG. If you want to 2 things on my list.
What was that?
And you can fill them each.
Before you met me, did you have a list of what your man was gonna be like?
Actually, I had 2 things on my list.
What was that?
And you can fill them each.
What was that?
No, I didn't have a list, actually. I don't know if I was old enough to really, I just knew I wanted somebody who loved God. And you had to look good. Those were 2 things.
That's good. That's me with my list.
Hey, did you have a list?
Yes.
What was on your list?
A fatty. And you got a fatty.
I don't have a fatty, babe.
I like your fatty.
But it's not like the normal fatties.
That's my fatty. Yo! What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's good? What's good?
Hey, guys.
Hey, we are back with another one. It is Love Talks with the Garcons with Irventz
and Anne Garcon.
We are so excited to be with you guys on tonight. We are simulcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and also Instagram. My Instagram people, tonight we have a guest in the building. So we're going to try to give you that connection so you could see them also. But if you want to make your way to YouTube, you could definitely go ahead and do that as well.
Sorry.
What happened? Who's being bad already?
Because I said on my list was you gotta love God and you look good. She said, there you go. You don't love God and you ugly.
Who said that? Quick, huh?
Don't talk about me like that, sis.
Yo, on site. Yo, listen, guys, thank you for joining tonight. If you are on Facebook, YouTube, please do us a favor right now and go ahead and subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you are aware the next time we come on. We are trying our very best. No, we are coming on every single Wednesday now moving forward.
Period.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
And we're so excited about tonight's topic, y'all. Like, I need y'all to come in on this conversation. I need y'all to share this with
Shizzo, 5 people. Matter of fact, let's take 10 seconds right now for you to share that what you gonna call it. All right.
Share the link right now,
so,
y'all, because
10, 9,
we're gonna get into it
8,
tonight.
7. I'm gonna get into it tonight. 6.
If you
5,
say the right things, bro.
4, 3, 2. Share that. What's going on, Tony? Tony on YouTube. Belinda, what's up, girl? On YouTube. Why am I getting private chat? I'm getting private. Okay. That's my boy. What's going on Instagram? Thank you guys for pulling up on us. Go ahead and share the live. We are excited to be here with you guys tonight. And this is actually a first for us. Not a first, really. This is the first time we're doing a live where we actually have guests coming in to be part of our live. So you're gonna hear from our guests in just a little bit. But how are you guys doing? How y'all doing?
How about you type in the chat where you're watching from? Because we just kind of want to connect with you guys.
For real.
We're out here in New York. Where are you guys coming from or joining us from? Let's interact in the chat.
Because it's good practice because tonight's gonna be on fire.
And the whole world needs to be in on this.
Come on, let's get it. So talk to us. Put it in the chat where you
we got Rhode Island. From. Somebody said the bathroom.
That's my bathroom, New Hampshire. There's a city in New Hampshire called Bathroom. YouTube, you are lit. Thank you guys for pulling up on us. Long Island is in the building. Is that really New York though?
Long Island?
Long Island's not New York.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. New York is Brooklyn, Queens, the 5 boroughs. Thank you very much. Long Island,
low key upstate.
Somebody said strong Island. Strong Island.
We got Miami in the building. All right.
In the our bro Danilo joining from work. That's what's up, bro.
Let's go. Just don't get in trouble.
Stephanie Charles in New York. What up? Hotel? Oh, hey, what's that? What's it say? I can't see.
Somebody's at a
hotel. Philly's up in here. What's good?
Let's go.
All right.
Y'all share this link because tonight's topic is going to be.
It's going to be a hot
very
one.
Interesting.
We might mess up some relationships.
Not our intention.
That's why we're being careful about who to select for this live, who to bring on as our
Not
guest.
Our intention.
Because, bro, it could get a little bit dangerous, right?
All right.
All right. So, y'all ready? Let's get into it. So, early last week, I was on scrolling on Instagram, as I tend to do. And a friend of mine posted on Instagram that he had a list that he posted about everything that his mate is supposed to have.
He would like her to have.
Because supposed to have is just it's a strong word, right? Oh, we got Montreal up in here too. What's up? Okay. All right. Atlanta. So a lot of time our inspiration for our lives come just like that. There's just probably a conversation we're having or somebody say something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this idea of having a list, how many people actually go into relationships with that kind of plan? Or as they're looking for their mate, they have a list. So if you are in the chat right now, I want you guys to write, I got one. If you have a list, write, I got one, or I had one, right? Because the I got one, I'm going to assume you're still single because you didn't find nobody yet. Right? And you might be single for a while because...
Or you still got one and the person that you're with just don't measure up to those things.
Oh, Marlena said she had one.
Okay.
Marlena, I'm going to come to you. Marlena...
I had one. I turned mine. What do you mean you
had one?
Oh, I burned.
Somebody say I burned mine on Instagram.
Why are we burning it?
IG, talk to me. Not IG, YouTube. Man, I got lucky. Danilo... You already know. I'm gonna bring you on to share that story. I think we did that one already.
Lucky.
Marie, I had one. Okay, Marie, I see you, sis. I had one. Okay.
Danilo said, "Babe, you had one for me. You and I hope that it was for you, but let's not go there."
She met him and then she burnt it. Like, whatever. Right? All right. So. Hold that thought, everyone. I'm really curious.
Think about it. Either someone had one because they realized that, you know what, maybe this list was just too extensive.
This might be your godchild. Gami. Who called you Gami?
Oh, Mikey.
What's up, Mikey?
Either they had one because they realized that the list was too extensive and so they ripped it up, or they had one because they found someone to match that list.
Yeah.
So those are two perspectives to think about too.
Yeah. And I honestly, going into a relationship, I don't think I had a list. I didn't have a list. I mean, I know in the intro video, I joked about a fatty, but I don't think I had a particular list.
You weren't into fatties when we met.
Nah, I was mad safe.
He was mad safe.
I was mad safe. I love God mad bad.
No, like really bad. Like
I used to go to
I had to know.
Blanc.
So true, y'all. He was a temple boy. I called him a temple boy, and I kind of turned him out because I met the
devil. I
needed him to meet some gusto.
Patrick, you hear that? Pat is on here. Patrick is on here.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily have a list, but I do remember praying to God for two things, and I said it in my video. Like I said, God, I want him to love you and I want him to look cute. But I was young, so I didn't really have an idea of like, okay, what I should really kind of include. But I praise God that he knew my heart, right? That's facts. He gave me everything that I needed. Aww.
Yeah, that's facts.
Babe, I just said something sweet about
that's so sweet.
Nah, no.
And then she saw me at an event, bro. When she saw me at that event, she pulled up that list. She's like, yes, that's it. And then she just ran to the altar. Like I was at the altar hosting the event. Like sis, like literally ran up to the altar talking about, hi, I think the Lord sent you to
Y'all see my face, right?
I think you're mine. So we're going to talk about this idea of a list. We don't want to waste too much time. We have some guests in the building. I want you guys to hold a thought about the list that you had. I want to know why you ripped it off. Did your partner, don't get yourself in trouble. Danilo, I see you here. I know your wife is here too. Who else? If you're a couple, you're watching as a couple, also let us know if you're watching as a couple. All right. So
don't get yourself in trouble.
So,
and somebody just asked a question: is a list bad though?
Let's get into it.
We're gonna get into that conversation tonight.
But we'll come back at the end and do a wrap up. Let's just go ahead and just jump in right now to this thing.
I just want to read something really quick before.
Go ahead, baby.
Somebody just shared. I'm contemplating. The reason why I haven't written a list yet is because I feel like I don't want to limit what God has for me.
Okay.
That's good.
She was watching that Mike Todd sermon. If that's a she.
That's
A she.
good.
All right, y'all. So listen, we're gonna get right into it. We are going to bring some people on, and keep the comments coming in the chat, you guys. We are monitoring as much as we can. The first people we have coming up, we have Peter and Maggie
Saint Cyr.
Saint Cyr.
Because he's not saying their last name correcting
correct.
me. I got y'all, right?
Yeah. They've been married for 6 years. This is their handle, y'all. So go ahead and follow them on social media. Really dope couple. This is family right here. We've known Peter, and I think I met Peter first. I think you knew both of them around the same time for a very long time. And their story is pretty unique, and I want us to tap into that really quickly. We're gonna tap into their story, and we're gonna bring them also on IG. So we are multitasking.
If you're on IG, you get a better experience if you tap into our YouTube live, only because we're able to simulcast that way. I think it's gonna.
Yeah, let's just. Oh man. Okay, how's that? IG, can you still hear us? Give us thumbs up if you can. Okay, cool. So we have to turn up. We have to turn down the volume a little bit so we'll be able to hear them from another place. Guys, make some noise, throw some fires in the chat, and help us to welcome our people, Peter and Maggie Saint Cyr. Show them some love, y'all.
Yeah. And you got the name right too.
Listen, I told you.
And Irv, you a liar. You gonna say she done ran to the altar as if
she did. She did. She did. She really did. She really did. Like,
I'll let him have it.
Arms wide open.
I'll let him have it.
Arms wide open. Arms wide open.
We'll get on with the interview.
What's good, y'all? Give us a little bit about who you guys are. And you know what? I'm gonna tell the people real quick why we have you guys on this show on tonight, right? So Peter and Maggie, I am sure Maggie had her list of tall, dark, handsome, muscular.
That's everything I am. Everything I am.
There's a feedback. Okay, how bad is it, IG? Matter of fact, you know what, guys? Again, if you are on the IG, please do us a favor. Go to YouTube or Facebook instead, because it's going to be a lot easier. I don't know how to turn off that feedback, and I don't know.
Oh, wait. Okay, so you guys got to mute your mic to remove the feedback, he said.
But how are they going to hear them?
Mute your mic.
They're not going to be able to hear them on IG.
No, because they're going to hear from here.
Oh, yeah, true.
So mute
your mic. Okay, so talk.
All right.
IG, as they're talking, IG, can you hear them? Talk, guys.
Hi guys.
Still IG, can you still hear them? Please talk to us.
Keep talking, Maggie.
Keep talking, Mag.
Hey, you guys.
Okay, great.
Okay,
perfect.
All right, good. Thank you, Davins.
Appreciate it. All right, so I'm just messing around. Maggie had her list. Peter was doing his own thing. I don't know if he had a list, because guys don't tend to do that. But their story is very interesting because they were hooked up. You
so let them share it. Let them share it.
Yeah. So go ahead and talk about how that went for you guys. Having a list. Let's talk about your story first. Your journey together.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I am 6'5", and I do work out 8 times a week every day.
He does it.
To no avail. To no avail.
No avail. I got you.
Okay.
All right, guys. So we met at
initially before Verm.
You gonna keep cutting me off?
Sorry.
All right, cool.
All
right. Okay. So we met at a church service.
It was Pat's youth conference in 2014. He invited my church and the youth. So I came. I was a youth leader. I came with my youth. Anne was directing. Well, like the worship leader there. So we go way back, all of us.
Way back.
So Anne was the worship leader. Peter actually was the one on the keys playing. And I saw him like, oh, it's kind of cute. But I'm trying to focus on the Lord, worshiping. He's kind of cute. So yeah, I already peeped him. I already saw him. So we saw each other. He sat next to me.
Right next to him.
Didn't notice me. None of that. It's okay. We admitted that years later. You didn't notice me. But it's okay. We're together now. So I then reached out to him on Facebook that time.
Yo, you ain't playing.
I didn't want to, but
Wait, when you say reached out, you were just saying hi.
So I sent
she's it's the equivalent of sliding into my DMs.
Okay, so you did the sliding.
Yeah, guys, but I just, talking to my sister. I came home from the youth service. I'm like, this guy, he's kind of cute. He looks like my type, and he looks like he loves the Lord. He was playing and everything, and she's like, girl, that's time it was 2014. Girl, it's 2014. Go get your man. I'm like, okay, all right. So I slid into his DM, very innocent. I'm like, hi, I was at a youth conference probably a week or two ago. Do you remember me? No.
Wow.
You didn't have to say it like that, though, bro.
That's not what I said. I said, were you part of the singers?
He didn't notice.
I didn't know
because he was there for God. Let's go.
He was there for God, right?
My
he sat right next
true.
to me, and he was there for God.
Yeah.
So that happened. I reached out to him. We talked. I just was trying to get to understand it. Is he single? Is he married? I noticed the purity ring on his finger. So I wasn't sure.
I was saved. The man was in the purity ring, and
okay. Double boy number 2, huh?
Okay, so make sure he's not married. Let me ask him, what is that ring about? What is it for? So he told me it was a purity ring, and that
I was trying to keep myself.
He was really saved.
Let's
go. He himself, he was single for a year and change, and he was really getting close to the Lord, right? Kind of reconnecting. So then I asked him his age. He told me his age.
And then she went like this, y'all. Just like this. Deuces.
Oh, you're rocking the cradle.
On. Yo.
Right. I was like, he's too young. That ain't it. I can't do it.
So I guess on your list,
the age
was 8.
Yes. Why wasn't going?
Wait, how much older? Same age, older? What was on that list?
On that list, it was a little older. Same age and a little older.
Okay.
So, but he is 4 years younger than me.
Whole high school.
Wow.
Yeah. So I
you could have gotten arrested, sis.
I know. So I got nervous and I just disappeared.
She fled the scene.
I disappeared.
Fled the scene.
Wow.
All right. 2 months later, I meet with Vern. We went out, we had lunch, and she's like, "Oh, why are you?" Same question you get from everybody as a young single Christian woman. Why are you single? Like, girl, I don't know. But at the same time, I was living my life. I wasn't looking for anything.
Yeah.
I was just chilling, enjoying life and singleness, and waiting for the right one, waiting for the Lord. So we met up, and she's like, you know what? They consider me a matchmaker. Let me hook you up. I said, okay. Those blind date things never work out. I'm not quite sure. It made me kind of nervous. She's like, okay, think about it. Went home. She said, send me what you're looking for. She said, send me a list.
Tell me what was on that list, please.
Okay. So I had to think because it was many years ago. So what I can remember, he reminded me of some certain things because I brought it up to him.
Okay.
What I was looking for. So I did definitely, number one, God-fearing, someone with a heart after God. I wanted family-oriented person.
Okay.
No kids. That's definitely, there's non-negotiables, so that was a non-negotiable.
Okay.
No kids. Honesty and consistency. So I had previous relationships and I knew what I did not want. So honesty and consistency, number 1, too. Sense of humor. I come from a household. My dad is really funny. We're always laughing. So I knew I wanted someone with a sense of humor. Someone who completed college with career in motion. So I was done with school. I'm a registered nurse. I was doing my own thing with my car, with whip. I needed someone that had it together as well. Sorry, the little one will peek in.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
As long as he stays quiet. So the college degree, career in motion, doing something with your life, someone who's tenacious, his own car. I did have this list. His own car for sure.
I mean, is that too much to ask for?
No. Because I had a car.
I also want to know, is that
No, because
is that still the list or you recreated it?
No, I went back.
Oh, okay. I thought you still kept it.
And your sister said he had to be approved by her as well.
Right, of course.
Okay. We got you, Gina.
So, okay, where was I? Tenacious, caring, good hygiene, of course. But then for me, I preferred a Haitian man. I wanted a Haitian man, Haitian American. Because for me, I was big on culture, and I feel like, you know, the Haitian parents sometimes they get intimidated to speak English, or it's
who did you bring to me? That's basically the conversation.
So I wanted that. So that was pretty much my list.
So okay, so thinking back, Maggie, I want to ask a question. So your list had about 10 things on it.
Right.
Looking back or looking now, do you feel like Peter met all those requirements?
Then or now? Because I got a degree now.
Then
he leveled up. He leveled up.
So there had to be, it was filtered a bit. It was filtered. So majority of the list, most, yes, just the degree and the career in motion. So that's something I had to
be patient for.
And realizing when you're single, you have this list. You have this list, and you realize if you don't filter for things that are the most important, like the morals, the core values and stuff like that, you're going to miss out on the right one. Realizing in the relationship, as we started dating and even married, these are things that can come. If he is already tenacious, he's determined, he already was in school when we were dating, I knew he was looking towards something. He was working towards something. He wasn't just a dreamer. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things.
So Peter, like, I feel like, well, Irvin said that guys really don't have a list.
Right.
So we heard Maggie's list. Did you have a list?
So I didn't have a list per se, just because I was coming out of, I guess, like a really non-Christian kind of way of living. And then I said to myself, you know what? I don't have to have anything else in life. I just need Jesus. And so I said, you know what?
And that's why you didn't notice her when you went to the service.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not going to be in nobody's bed no more. I'm going to put this purity ring on, and it's going to be the number one deterrent. It's going to be me and the Lord. I felt I've experienced everything that I need. I'm good. So when I initially met Maggie, she ghosted me, and Vern came to me. She was like, oh, I wanted to hook you up with this girl, Maggie. I'm like, oh, you mean the girl that ghosted me on Facebook?
So let me tell you guys.
Oh, so when I know, so she didn't know.
No,
you had reached out to him.
No,
that's how you know it was meant to be. It was God ordained. So after she told me, so this all happened. I ghosted him. You know, we were not talking because of the age. She's like, let me hook you up. What are you looking for? So I sent her some of these things. And then I think at that time, I think your car was in a shop or something. She's like, I have someone in mind. The first person, Verm knows a lot of people.
Yeah.
Out of all people, she brings up his name. I said, is it this guy? She's like,
throw some fires. React to this guy. That's a fire story. Throw some fires. I'm borrowing Davin's line. Throw some fires in the chat. Wow, that's dope. That's dope.
And how she came back with this guy? He's too young.
Well,
she knows people.
Let me also put this out there. I wasn't just randomly answering DMs or whatever, and I just happened to answer her DM, and it went nowhere. But the way we got reconnected, it all kind of meshed well.
Right.
And so I didn't have a list, I did want me a chocolate queen. And that's,
did you get that?
Did I get, yeah.
Oh, come on, Maggie.
You got to cut this live short.
So guys, listen, Maggie is the youngest of 3 sisters, right? I believe. Are there more siblings? Just youngest of 3 sisters?
I'm the oldest of 3.
You the oldest?
And then, yeah, I know. Good genes.
I really didn't know that.
I thought you were the baby.
No, Marie's the baby. And
no
then there's in between.
Oh, dope. So her sisters are
brother.
Her sisters are in the chat, guys. So their sisters are here present, representing.
And they said they loved him from
day
one.
Loved him.
So it sounds like Maggie had a list, but people didn't necessarily have one. But everything you feel like you needed, you found.
But here's what I will say though. We kind of had this discussion about what was on this list, and I think that you should kind of know what kind of room you're going to walk into. And so I knew that she wanted somebody who might have given her different experiences. Now I didn't have all the money in the bank. It was below minimum wage. But I didn't want her to feel like she was with a broke guy, so I was very creative, very intentional with our dating. So we wasn't sitting around in nobody's living room, but I was utilizing Groupons. I was utilizing.
You were?
Damn right I was. I had no money.
I had fun. It was great.
Yeah, and so we definitely got to explore dating.
Right.
Just because like I didn't have all my finances in order doesn't mean that she wasn't gonna have a great time. And I never tried to stop dating her, at any point. So it was like this week we're at this place, different experience. We're eating something different. Maybe we go out and we see a movie, maybe not in the same settings that everybody else is watching. So
it was always outside. Gina said y'all was always outside.
Listen,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So it was great to explore, but it was always something that I kept in my mind. She does have a list, and I thought that she was trying to get a doctor. And my whole goal was like, I'm gonna show you that I'm better than a doctor. I ain't got doctor money. So I ain't got doctor money.
Yeah.
I
You
do have
can meet someone with all of that and not be caring,
miserable.
not be nurturing, not be honest and consistent. And I got all of that in
So
here.
I do have a question for you, Marie. Not Marie. I'm tripping.
Okay.
Maggie. As we are wrapping up your session, right? Question I have for you is this: the fact that you had a list, and in the moment, Pete probably did not meet every single thing on your list, even with the vouch from Verm and the family liking him. How did you still go ahead and say, you know what, we're gonna give it a shot, even if it didn't meet 5%, 10% of what I had?
And because
on
he
my
was
list?
younger, and
he
that was a
was
big
younger.
deal for you.
Right.
How did you manage to adjust, I guess, for lack of a better term, from your list? And what kind of counsel would you give someone who probably trying to meet 100% of what's
On
they
their
have
list.
on their list?
Right. So in the beginning, when she was supposed to set up the date initially. That's what she would do. Set up the date, find the restaurant and all that. For some reason, it could never happen with us. So what she ended up doing, because our schedules conflicted, is have us exchange numbers. So we didn't actually see each other, meet. He was in Queens, I was in Brooklyn, not too far, but we just couldn't. And we just talked every day. Like all day, every day. And through talking, I fell in love with Peter. First 2 weeks before we had our first date. And just what I was looking for in on this list, that honesty, consistency, realizing what was the most important to me and what I needed. So with that already peeled away layers that I didn't even think I had. It was just easy. I don't know, the walls just fell down. It was just easy with him, and I just fell in love with the person that he was and is.
Love to hear.
I would just say, don't be stuck on the list. Sometimes you have to filter the list. Sometimes you have to try. You have to get to know people. You have to give them a chance, because if you get stuck on the list, you're gonna miss out on the person that God has for you.
I love it.
You're not gonna be able to. You're gonna see this person, but you're gonna pass him by. You're gonna pass on him because of this list that you're going through. And sometimes you're stuck on the list that sometimes is so long that deserves to be filtered. But what's the core values, the most important, and you might end up by yourself, because sometimes this list is looking for something that is perfect. But sometimes this perfect is not for you, but this perfect is for you. What God has for you.
Love it.
Imperfectly perfect.
Yes.
Just
somebody said on Instagram, fell in love in 2 weeks. If that's not Haitian, I don't know what is. that is man.
Let's call it God.
Shout out to Garcons.
And let me say this though, as somebody who didn't have a list, I don't want people to walk away from this and say, you know what?
Right. No. You need standards.
I think the list also tells you things about yourself, of what I'm accustomed to. I don't want somebody who's just gonna make me miserable. If you don't have a sense of humor, there's no way it's gonna be we can't. But there's certain things that you can't change. There's life circumstances that happen, and just a lot of obligations that you may or may not be able to fulfill in that moment. But I do want somebody that's gonna blow my mind. Maybe brings me a flower every now and again. I want somebody who's gonna drop me some candy. There's nothing wrong with a list.
What's up, man?
This list tells you things about yourself,
right? And it allows you to set standards and gives you like a guide. You know what I'm saying? But just don't get stuck on the list.
Yeah.
Because there's
That's
nothing wrong with
Use
standards.
it more
and
so as like brainstorming.
right. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with knowing what you want and knowing your worth as well. But once you meet someone, still give that person
Your sister out here putting your business out, bro.
Verbal
You're a verbal.
Maggie was a verbal assassin with men before Peter. If they weren't man enough, they didn't last. He helped bring out a new Maggie.
That's so
I'm
sweet.
helping her like
I'm
butter.
saying
So, Peter, you sound like a good one.
God.
Listen,
You sound like a good one.
my approach to dating also changed when it came to Maggie, and there was certain things that I was like, yo, you know what? I won't compromise her. I'll make sure that she knows she's first. And I mean that's something that I had to change about myself. And
Let me tell you guys what Verm said. When I kept saying, wait, his car's in the shop. He can't take me on his day. What, I'm supposed to get on a train, a bus? How we getting on this date? She's like, girl, you're just going to go on one date with him. It's not like you're going to marry the man.
6 years
look
later.
what happened.
6 years
You
later.
married the man.
Hold on.
Come on, let me find out Verma Prophetess.
Listen.
I was supposed to only be a free meal. Free meal.
I was open. That's the thing. We got to be open. Let's go.
I love it. I love
You
it.
never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history, because somebody mentioned, I'm trying to find the comment. Oh, it's on there right now. It's beautiful to watch you guys blossom. But listen, y'all, I really want to thank you guys for pulling up on it.
So wait, last question. List or no list?
I'm here with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Here with it.
No, don't explain, Maggie. Yes or no, or okay.
Cool. Thank you guys so much. As you guys probably are noticing, we there's a little afro running back and forth.
he said he wanted to say hi. So
You want to come and say hi? The product of the list. Let's see the product of the list.
Okay, now you don't.
Okay,
Yeah,
now you
Not trying to shy.
okay.
All right.
Guys, thank you guys for pulling up. I
Thank
know
you,
you guys will go handle him real quick.
Right.
So thank you for pulling up. I appreciate you guys. Yo, show some love, give some love, some fire, some
Love you guys.
reaction in the chat for the St. Cyrs guys. Thank you guys for pulling up on us. We
Thanks
have more
for
for you
having
guys.
us.
Just hang tight. All right, y'all.
All right. Y'all can just X out the IG.
Yeah, X out on the IG. All right, that was dope. That was dope. Thank you guys. We have a couple more for you guys. Do us a favor. There's 56 of you guys on this YouTube Facebook combination. So I want you guys to do us a favor. I think you could still see it. Please subscribe to our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Definitely want to see it go up by the end of the night. And turn on the
Right now we're at 425. Let's get to 435 before the night is over.
Yeah, we want to increase by 10
more.
followers, by 10 subscribers, and turn on the notification bell so you know when next time we go up. Next up, we have a young single lady that we're gonna bring to the stage for you guys right now. This is Miss Deborah Faith. Deborah is a really dope young lady that from our community. She's a vlogger. She does great content on relationship, also from her perspective as a single young woman who's in ministry. So without further ado, we're gonna bring Deborah up to talk about the list or no list. Please show her some love, my people. Deborah.
Hey,
What's going on, Deb? Let's bring
you guys.
Let's bring you up on the IG. Where you at? There you go.
Remember to just lower your volume on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's no feedback.
All right. Trying to bring her. Okay, here she
There you
comes.
are. Hi,
Let me lower. Hey, you guys. I'm
Debbie.
excited.
All right.
Deborah.
Hey, y'all.
Yo, I love this girl in her youth ministry. I watch them from afar. They're really passionate about the Lord. She's very balanced in terms of the spirituality and practicality. So Deborah, tell us about yourself and let's get into it. Go for it.
Yes. So first off, hey, you guys. I go by Deborah Faith. I am a faith-based
Deborah,
content creator.
mute your IG. Mute it altogether. It should be a mute button.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. So so I am a faith-based content creator. You can find my content on Instagram, YouTube, and I just love the Lord. I just love
Period. Just like period.
Period.
I think that's one of the things that we want to live in 2023. This period thing. I think,
Did you check out my T-shirt? Like
we're gonna leave that.
Black women are dope. Period.
We're gonna leave that in 2023 along with the baby hair.
Oh my God.
Oh no, Kim, no. My baby
The dump us. We're gonna leave all that in 2023. Deb, tell us about yourself. What is your thoughts as a single young lady on this list thing? First of all, do you have a list?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
be honest.
I do have a list. But before I get into that though, my views on the list, I am not against having a list. So I think as Maggie said previously, it's basically like a guide, right? It helps you to kind of know what to look for in a person. Now, I think the thing that I'm against when it comes to a list is when people are so fixated on that list. And a lot of the times it's the things that are on the list are very superficial. You know, and
for example,
it's like he has to be 6'3", credit score has to be a certain amount, he has to have this amount of money, this car. It's just very superficial.
Let's go
to my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like somebody said in the comments, it's as if like you're putting God in a box, right? So it's hard for God to give you something that you need, right? Because you're so fixated on what you want. And so
No. Say that one more again. You just say that so quick it just passed by, because I feel like that was very poignant. Can you just go back and say it again?
So I think the thing is that it's hard for God to give you something that you need when we're so fixated on what we want.
On what you want.
You know, exactly. Because it's not
say, and my God shall supply all your wants.
Come on.
According to his riches and glory.
Exactly.
What does it say? He shall supply all your what?
He shall supply you with a fatty.
But why?
Because God will give me the Lord in the word it says it says, ask and you will be given unto you. Lord, I want a fatty. Knock and it will be provided to you. When I get married, I want to knock on a fatty. Seek and you shall find. I need to find a fatty. Can I just keep it on?
I'm sorry.
And the Lord bless me with a fatty.
Well, I really don't believe I have a fatty.
On a baddie.
Ain't no looking at my butt. Don't look at my butt, y'all. It's really not a fatty. All right.
Go ahead, Deb. I'm sorry,
No,
y'all.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
But what was I saying?
I don't even know. All right, you were saying yes.
So I think so I'm not, like I was saying, I'm not against having a list. You know, I just think that it's really what you have on your list that's really important. So for me, I never had a list before, right? So I think, Anne, you kind of said it earlier in the reel, where my thing was, as long as he loves the Lord, he looks good, and what was it? And like our personalities click. That was really like the only thing that I went for, right?
Yeah.
But it was sometime last year is when I started to create a list. And so I separated the two. Okay. So I have like a preference list, like what I want, because make your vision known to God, what you want, make it known. But also too, I have like non-negotiables. Right. So it's like,
so you got two lists, sis.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I want, like if you don't have it, it's okay. It's not a deal breaker.
Got it.
But then I have non-negotiables where it's just like, there's no negotiating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and with those two lists, the non-negotiable for me is more so like based off of like his morals, his values, and the preference for my preference list is more so like physicality, and so yeah.
Deb, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How many items are on your list, if you had to quantify it?
My non-negotiable?
Or either or. Like is it written or is it in your mind?
My non-negotiables is written.
Okay.
Is written.
How many are on there?
I feel like I have like 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 or 6 non-negotiables, and preference is maybe about the same, 5 or 6.
So there's no way that you will receive someone who does not meet any one of those things on your non-negotiables?
Yes.
How did you create your non-negotiable list? Like with what criteria did you have those requirements? Like how?
So what I did was I had to sit myself down and really think about like, and this is why like I really advise single people to do this, because it really helps you to kind of put into perspective what is important to you, like what's really like what's priority. So for me, it was more so, like I said, like morals and godly standards. And so literally I just sat myself down and I just thought about what was something that was very important to me. Right. So for example, like a non-negotiable is I refuse to be with someone that doesn't desire commitment, like that doesn't desire marriage.
That's good.
You know, or someone that doesn't have self-control, or someone that has a bad reputation, that's known to be lying, and you know, things like that doesn't keep his word. So those things are my non-negotiables, right?
Cool.
And yeah.
I have another question. Is a list important if you're not ready to settle down? Or right?
If it's casual.
If it's casual. Or do you create the list when you're ready to settle down?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
I think it's good to have it there. You know, even if you're not looking for a relationship right now, I think it's good to kind of have an idea of what exactly, when you are ready, what exactly you are looking for. Because the list is basically like a guide. In my opinion, it's a guide. It helps you to know, okay, when it is that time, this is what exactly that I want. This is exactly what I'm seeking for in a person. So
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So do you see, or have you're single, because you ain't married yet. So even if you're in a situationship, because you ain't married, you still single. Okay. So has anyone ever approached you that was close to the list that you have? Or did someone approach you and you kind of felt like you were connected, but there was just one thing that they didn't have and you had to turn it down?
There were.
Which part are you saying yeah to? Which question?
There have been people that approached me that checked off my list, right? But the only reason why it didn't move forward was now personality. Like we didn't click, you know. So that was like a bummer, like, you know, whatever. And the next question was what?
Did somebody come so close? No. Did you kind of start to fall for someone, but because there was something that was on that non-negotiable list that they didn't have, you had to cut it short?
Well, to be honest, the non-negotiable list, I created it sometime last year. So I haven't really, you know, if shameless plug, but you know, I was on this whole healing journey and intentionally being single for, you know, however long God had told me to, for 2 years. So I wasn't really looking for anyone per se. So I guess now, you know, I'm kind of, you know, paying attention to see, like, do they check off like my non-negotiables and things like that. But before, I wasn't looking.
Got it.
How would you know? I think that's my question for you is this. Aside from your non-negotiables, I think that's healthy, right? That's healthy because there's certain things. For example, Anne and I would do this workshop on unrealistic expectation in marriage, and there are certain things that are you expect to happen in marriage. For example, respect. That's a non-negotiable. You want respect in marriage, love, and things of that nature, right? But how do you know? How will you know? Or anybody in the chat, how did you know? Like Maggie mentioned earlier, in your case, since it's more future tense, how will you know? You know what? Maybe I don't need him to be taller than me. We could be the same height. So how will you know what will allow you to pivot?
And is that settling?
But what allowed me to pivot from my my
from
preference.
from your list, not the non-negotiable book. I think what you mentioned on the non-negotiable, they make sense.
Guys,
They
yeah,
perfect.
that's
The
values.
other things, how will you know as a young person who's looking when to pivot? You know what? Okay, that's cool. This, that, and the third.
Yeah. So for me, I'm big on personality. I'm big on do we connect up here? No, so it's like, for instance, my preference is I prefer someone that's taller than me, right? But to be quite honest, I haven't been with someone that was 6 foot tall, but it was the personality. It was the, him being intentional, us connecting once again, with our minds. And so for me, it's I'm more open to, not him having whatever I want physically, if we connect on a more deeper level.
Yeah.
So that's more more attractive to me.
And that's not settling.
Yeah, it's not.
That's adjusting.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a catch-22 though. At the same time, the list prevents you from settling, right? But also we have to be careful not to settle at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like navigating that fine line.
It would be settling if you took your non-negotiables and was like, okay, he don't have he I sneezed and he said God bless you, so he must love God, right?
It could have said Gesundheit.
Now that would be settling, right?
Yeah.
And when you're I wouldn't call it superficialist, but the other list, right? You can adjust based on how you connect with that person.
So somebody asked, shouldn't physical attraction be a requirement? It depends. I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, there's some people who are together. I'd be like, yeah, what were you beholding? But that's a topic for a different day. But when it comes to physical, that's always gonna be subjective anyway. So yeah. Tony, what's good, T? Tony said settling. What did he say?
It's never settling
when God puts it for you. Absolutely.
Someone said, I thought Deborah said no need to have a list. How come she has a non-negotiable list? You didn't say that. You didn't say no need to have a list.
No. I never said. I said I'm for having a list.
Yeah.
But it's don't allow it to. Don't be so fixated on, this person has to have 1 through 10. Give room for God to give you what you need.
Yeah.
So.
And not just what you want. So before you go, list or no? Don't say nothing. Okay, listen. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
1 for the regular one for the and 1 for the non-negotiable. Okay.
So guys, I want to really quickly plug Deborah. Deborah has some really dope content. She's a content creator. What's this? I need to hide it. Okay, she's a really dope content creator. You could follow her on her YouTube. He lives in me, all one word. You'll find some pretty dope things on there. So Deborah, thank you so much for pulling up on the live. Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, my bad. Go, Deb. I'm sorry.
All right, it's okay.
My bad. I meant to remove the slide.
It's so good to have you, Deb.
Thank you guys. We need to do this again.
Yes,
hopefully, when he's here,
Oh, let's go. We bringing you back.
We want to make sure it matches that list. Matter of fact, I'm going to need you to type it up, and we're going to put it up on the screen, and we're going to try to check off and see where we at.
I got you.
All right, y'all. Show some love to Deborah for pulling up. I don't know. Edler was being annoying. Can we use another thing other than heart? Whatever you want to use to show some love, fire, heart, thumbs up for Deborah. Thank you, Deb. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
All right. Oh, we having a good time.
Oh, I love it. I love that she brought up the actual list and then the non-negotiables.
Yeah.
I think it's very wise to have a non-negotiable list that, because you have values, you have beliefs, you have morals, and if someone doesn't line up to those things, hit the road, Jack, right? But I'm going to call it the superficial list, right? Because these are things that you don't necessarily need, but you would prefer, right? Or your preference, let's call it that, not superficial, because I don't want to, but your preference, you gotta be, what is that word? You gotta be, help me, honey, help me finish
flexible.
my words. You know exactly what I wanted to
Yes,
say.
yes.
You gotta
Yes.
be flexible, because if you connect on a level, like, who cares if he's not
Yeah.
a doctor, right? Who cares if he doesn't have 6 figures in the bank, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't have your list have standards that are so high that even you can't meet them.
That's facts. What do you, if you had to put a list of your qualities, would you even be able to put 5 things out? Exactly.
Right? Lists are essential.
Yeah.
Imagine going to the supermarket and just picking up whatever comes to your eye versus having a list to steer your focus and seek what you're looking for. I love that.
Yeah. And
you would spend way more money.
Danilo.
You would waste so much more time picking if you don't have a list.
And then I read an article right before, as I was preparing for this. The person was saying that when you get to the counter, like, what the heck? Why did I take this? Did I really need this? And so it kind of guides you a little bit. So yes. Continue to subscribe to the page, you guys. We see you here. We have one more guest for you all that's about to pull up. This young brother is so inspirational. He has his own thing that he's also doing on social media. Very consistent brother. He has this. I'm gonna let him talk about it a little bit, called Igniting YE. And we're gonna have him come up, Mr. Davins Manasseh. What's your Creole name, Davins? I know that the Americans say Manasseh, all that other stuff. They should say Manasseh.
Is it Manas or Manasseh?
Manasseh.
My brother, how you doing, man? How you doing?
I am doing well. What's going on?
Any YE fans in the building? Type YE.
All my YE family, type YE in the comments. Let's get it. Let's
get you in IG.
All right, let's try to get the IG going.
We are the Garcons _YE. Hey.
Dive. Tell us a bit about yourself, bro, and what it is that you do out there in Jersey. I'm not a Jersey fan.
But good people come from Jersey. Jersey's not great, but good people come from Jersey.
Whoa.
Mute it. Mute the IG.
Wait, hold up. I think I'm muting myself. What about now?
Good. Perfect.
All right. See, I'm repping New York tonight.
Hey, you knew better.
But I'm very excited to be here. My name is Davins Manasseh, Davins _YE. I do run an organization called Igniting YE, which stands for Igniting Your Excellence. And our goal is to really provide entertainment from a godly perspective. And we do that through our live shows, events and networking events and all these great things. So you can follow the page igniting_.ye to get more information. But tonight, I would just like to really get into this topic. Like I said, it's really an opportunity to be here tonight. I love the Garcons, and I just want to say that right now. These were the few people who actually were standing next to me when I first started this vision. I remember I would call them at any time, text them, reach out to them. They would always say yes, always agree to come on the show, always agree to provide good content. So I'm excited to be here. And
we love you.
It's exciting to be on the other side of the screen.
Yes. Now we get to ask you the questions.
Yo, you know the cool thing about it? I hit up Davs and like, yo, I need you for Wednesday. It's like, bro, I had something else to do. I have rehearsal to do, but please, it's canceled. I'm there. So he canceled whatever he had to do to be here with us tonight. So appreciate you. Don't man, what's your relationship status?
No. You don't do that. You don't do that.
Why not?
Because you don't answer that. Okay, you're single. We're just gonna call you single because you're not married. Do you have a ring on your finger?
I don't have a ring on my finger.
What if you don't want to share that?
I don't have a ring on my finger.
Okay. And I hope. Okay, you know what? Just continue. He's single tonight. Okay. What is your perception on the list?
You have a list, bro.
The list. That's actually a very interesting topic. So my perception on the list, right? I think we need a list for everything, right? We need a list for even our relationship with God, a list of the things that we want to become, a list the way we want to run our family, and all the different things. I believe we need a list the way we want to run our lives, in terms of our goals and all these things. So even in relationships, I think a list is very important. Now, there's a difference between having, I think all the people that went ahead of me mentioned this, having certain moral standards and also having unhealthy expectations.
Come on. Yeah.
So a lot of people, they have a list, but the list that they have, they're actually unhealthy expectations. And sometimes one of the main reasons why people have unhealthy expectations, I'll touch on this, is because of trauma. Sometimes childhood trauma causes you to have a list. So you will want your life to be a certain way. The reason why you will want your life to be that certain way is because there are things that you have not been healed from. So because you didn't get it from your mom or your dad, now you're expecting it someone else. So that person has to be this way. Or that girl, she has to be this way. Little did we know that you're not marrying your mom and you're not marrying your dad. So whatever it is that you didn't find in your mom and your dad,
come on,
it's your responsibility to take it on to therapy to be healed. You can't try to find mommy or daddy in somebody else. That's why it's unhealthy expectations. And what's going to happen is your expectations are not going to be met. And that person is also going to be kind of, they're going to be dried out because they're unable to perform the way you want them to. Because your standard is not refined through God's lens. It's not refined through the word. It's coming from a place of insecurity.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going ahead of myself.
No, that's good. Because that's so good. The crazy thing also about what you said, oftentimes people take on and create these lists because they are living vicariously through somebody else's trauma. I have a list not because I've been done wrong. I have a list because I've seen people being done wrong. And so they take on those people's experiences as something that they might deal with. So to be careful, that list become more like a barrier or a coping mechanism or something to protect themselves before this can happen to them.
Like a wall.
Like a wall. So they meet someone, they see someone who treated their friend bad, and that person is light-skinned. So to them, I don't want a light-skinned person. Right? So it's like this vicarious trauma is now guiding your list.
But I have a question for you. How do you know your list is unhealthy? How would you be able to identify the unhealthiness of your list?
The unhealthiness of your list, right? So, to be completely honest, I don't think I have a black or white answer to tell you, like, okay, this is unhealthy. But there are certain expectations that are unrealistic. Like, for example, I'm gonna open this parenthesis. I remember there was a girl I was talking to, not talking to her as like wanting her to be my girlfriend, but it was a friend that I knew. Right?
Is she on here? No, Lisa.
It might be.
If you on here, pay attention to what you did wrong, sis. Not joking.
I'm not gonna say names, but the expectation was she wanted a man of God. He had to be hood. He had to play a specific instrument.
A specific one.
Yeah, a specific one.
Okay.
I won't say the exact instrument, but let's say the drums. He had to play the drums. And he had to be able to teach the word at a certain level, at a certain capacity. Come on.
Girl, not what you wanted though. No.
You could build that man. Just you'll be about to build it and just build that man.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? But going back to the question, I think for you to truly know if you're sometimes when you're in a place when deep down inside you have not been healed. And when you have not been healed, all of your perception, it will be blurred because you're looking at everything from that lens, right? From that lens of trauma. So I think one of the ways that one of the things that you need to do, I encourage everyone to do, is have therapy and also have self-reflection. Because sometimes I look at myself, I'm looking at me, I'm like, am I the one bugging? You know,
I what?
am I the one that's bugging? Am I the one that's like, am I the one that's bugging? Because sometimes I've had certain expectations before, right? Then as you grow in life and you have more experiences, you see life from a different lens. You like, that was so immature and so childish, right? But I think we should keep our mind open and not just be stuck on that list, because you could miss out on the person just because you stuck on a list,
To what degree do you feel as a young man? To what degree do you feel deviating from your list becomes settling? Because settling has a very negative connotation when it comes to a relationship, right? One input bagay. Getting older or whatever, that's a connotation that settling tend to have. So when do we go from having a rigid list to being flexible to it then being settling? And I'd like for you guys in the chat to comment on that question, and we'll highlight it both on the IG and also on the YouTube, Facebook. Someone on the IG said, I think my Boaz list. So she has a Boaz list. I would love to know what a Boaz list look like. What goes on the Boaz list? She thinks it's healthy because it line up with the word. Just a little of my likes, right? So
actually, I want her to actually read that story.
Ooh.
Read the story. go in the Bible and actually read the whole story. Just read the story.
So what do you think on that question, bro? When do we go from the list to flexible and now you're just settling?
Okay, so I feel like one of the things is,
have you ever had to settle first? Or have you ever settled?
And that could be so subjective too, right? But go ahead.
So, all right. So, which one do I answer first?
Answer the one if you've ever settled first, and then go into the
where's the line? Where's the line?
If I've ever settled, I've settled in the past. Now, like Irventz has said, it's subjective, but settling in the sense that there are certain things that, that person didn't have that thing that I wanted, but all of the goods that they had, it outweighed that thing. So it was not necessary. Right? So I didn't settle in my morals and my standards.
Okay.
And my values. No, not that. But there are certain things that maybe I could live without. Right? Now, to the second part of the question, to the second part of the question, I think there's a matter of age, right? When you begin to reach, I'm gonna talk to the ladies. I'm gonna say certain things. When you begin to push 30, you're pushing 31, 32. There's certain things that you had on your list when you were 23 that you're taking out.
That's true. That's true. No. Not to cut you off. I read an article in preparation for this. Somebody, when they were 20, their list had 50 things on it. And they met that person, quote unquote, they got together. Long story short, broke up. The person met somebody else. Within 6 months, they were engaged. Within a year, they were married. So now this person, 10 years later, their list went from 50 items to about 20 or something like that, per the article. She's not settling. I think she's being more realistic, adjusting and being flexible and with age. And Dabs, right before we continue, Sylvie, what's up, Sil? Good to see you, girl. She said, if by settling I have to lower my standards, dismiss my boundaries to be with this person, or if I can't express myself to keep the peace, I'm settling for sure. Yeah. And some original Gersh said, when the fear of being alone becomes greater and stronger than waiting to be with the right person, that's settling. That's a really, really dope perspective, bro. A really dope
That's so
perspective.
true.
But go ahead, D.
Yeah, so I think age matters, and I also think experiences matters. You know,
Yeah.
there are certain relationships that I was in that didn't work out. It gave me a new perspective on how to conduct myself in the other one and what to expect also.
Yeah.
Right. So if you, because you in life, and I'm gonna give that last perspective. In life, you have to be willing to be flexible. You have to be willing to be flexible. And one of the things that people don't understand. Now I'm going into the Bible, right? Getting it from a godly perspective.
Yeah.
Because everyone that's, most of the people that we have here, their desire is to have a godly marriage. But do we really know what that means? Right? I'm not married yet, but I have a little perspective. If you guys will permit me to speak on this topic as a person that's not married, based on the integrity of scripture, based on different stories, and my personal revelations. Godly marriage is not just about the sweetness of things. And I think this is where my generation, we get it mixed up. When we hear my Proverb 31 woman, oh, she's going to be this, or my Boaz, he's going to be this, or marriage is that. Because it requires you to give all of yourself. It's not even 50-50. It's actually 100%.
Come on. You're
I
talking.
doubt it.
You're talking.
Because the reason why the Bible says in Ephesians 5:25, husband, love your, this is it. Love your wife as Christ loves the church. Let's stop there. God, that's impossible for me to do. Look. If we're going to be real, let's be real. Because how does Christ love the church? Because I feel like we just say it, but we don't really sit down to really think about it.
Yeah.
God's literally saying that the church does, you see how messed up the church is and what the church does? Jesus still loves the church and still comes back after her.
Come on.
Period.
So, even loving somebody, it requires the help of God for you to do that for you. Because it's not just about the emotions. Right? And what marriage does is so much for me to say, but I say but it will test every part of yourself.
Every part.
Yeah.
And you will begin to die to your desires. You will begin to die to the men that you think you were. Because you're going to have to apologize even when you were not wrong. You're going to have to come into a place and start fixing things. Even when you didn't do something wrong.
You didn't mess up.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the relationship, for the sake of God, that trusted you with this thing, because you have to lead your marriage.
Yeah.
So now, the whole thing about the list is, there's no problem with having expectations. Is that your expectations has to be refined through the lens of God.
Yeah.
Anytime you have expectations that cannot be refined through the lens of God, that expectation is unhealthy. I just got my answer. Thank you, Spirit. I just got the answer. Anytime you have an expectation that is not refined, or that cannot be refined through the lens of God, then that expectation is unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. Yeah.
Your expectation for real is supposed to be rooted from the word, rooted from God, rooted from that revelation of Him.
That was actually going to be my next question to you. Do you feel like the list should be created in prayer? Like,
of course, the list should be created in prayer. However, one of the things that walking with God for my little years, one of the things I understand is that sometimes God will put certain people in your life, or He will allow you to be in certain relationships to refine certain things in you.
Yep.
Many times you ask Him, because Dr. Miles Monroe said, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. And the purpose of marriage, the purpose of healthy relationship is number one, for us to worship God through our marriage. The second purpose is so that we can be conformed to the image of Christ. So your marriage, your relationship will compel you to be conformed to the image of Christ. Now, if you're missing patience, one of the ways that God will develop patience in you, He will give you a wife that will ensure that you become a patient.
Practice that patience. Yep.
So now look at you that didn't have patience, and your list had to have somebody who's on time, who does this, who does that, and God said, you know what? Let's give him that.
Yeah.
And over the years, that's how you're developing patience.
Yeah.
Yo, I need to give you guys Davin's cash app for you to send your offering. Yo, we could listen. We could be here all night. Listen, that's one of the things about Davin I really appreciate, and somebody was already mentioning it in terms of the wisdom that he comes with. That is, we love building and connecting with him on his own platform when he does those lives. He has some really hallelujah topics to some crazy. Oh my goodness! Like Lecrae said, Lecrae got in trouble for trying to connect ratchetness with righteousness. We'll be having some righteous conversation. I love it. And Davins, we are so proud of you, man. And I don't know.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah, you're getting
from ratchet to righteous.
You're getting a lot of love in terms of the wisdom that you possess, bro. And we cannot tell you how proud we are of you and everything that you're doing, the work that you're doing, bro. Keep it up. Listen,
we need a part two.
You need a list, because you need someone actually that's gonna be keep pushing you towards what it is that you're doing. Because
I'm sure that's on your non-negotiable.
Because YE is I could see YE is just the beginning. And I'm super proud of the work that you're doing. And I want you to talk about this real quick, because they have a special thing coming up to celebrate. He didn't ask me to do this, but he's celebrating the launch of his ministry 4-year anniversary. Talk a little bit about that, Davins, real quick.
All right, so thank you guys again for this opportunity. I'm truly grateful, for real. So as you guys can see, this is our 4th year anniversary, and this is our 2nd annual winter ball. And it's a night where we come to celebrate and truly to thank God for his grace and mercy towards us, and also celebrate and appreciate all of the people that have been with us over the years, that have been supporting us. And it's a night of live music, live band. We also have a DJ, live performances. We have a lot of surprises coming up. So, and you have to dress up. And if you're single, this is your best time to come and meet somebody.
Bring your list. Bring your list on.
Everything. If you're single, it's the best time for you to come and meet
Bring
somebody.
Your list. And you know what you do? When you get to the door, show the list. If they ain't got that in there, just go back home.
Somebody said last year was a movie.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it, yo. And we trust that God will make it bigger and better. So please, guys, come and support. And if you can't come, you can always support. Monetary donations are also welcome. Right now, we have a sale. Our tickets, we have the early bird tickets on Eventbrite, so you can go on our page, igniting_.ye, and then Friday, yeah, that's it right there. Friday, the early bird ticket, the sales that they end, and we're going to get to regular tickets. So get it as it lasts, and a lot of amazing things coming soon. So yeah.
Davins.
Yes.
Somebody asked a question in the comments. Somebody asked us to ask you a question. They said, can you guys ask him if he has a girlfriend?
Oh, Lord.
So I know Irventz asked you at the beginning, and I didn't want to put you on blast to have to share that, but the people want to know.
Do I have a girlfriend? Yes, I do. She's probably watching it. Yes, I do have a girlfriend. I am in a committed relationship.
Is she watching?
She is watching.
You got yourself a good
Ooh,
one.
let me bring her on real quick. Hold on.
You got yourself a good one, sis. Hold on tight, because I'm sure some people in his DMs right now. I'm sorry, no, stay out of his DMs, ladies.
Davins, we
Okay.
can't. Like I told you, bro, when we talk offline, I can't.
Jane said that might be his girlfriend asking.
Oh my god!
Just making sure you claiming me tonight. Okay.
Yo, Davins, keep doing your thing, young brother. We appreciate you. We are watching from afar. He's on live every Thursdays, igniting YE, _YE, where the youth be up in there, like having some really good, healthy conversation. We've been his guests a couple of times, so it's pretty dope to reciprocate
Forever youth
and have you be on with us tonight, bro. I appreciate you. Guys, show him some love. So drop some love in the chat for him.
Thank you so
much.
Thank
you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, this might say YE wedding coming. I'm an officiant. Remember that.
And I'm a wedding singer. Remember
there you
that.
go. Let's do it.
As long as
matter of fact, let's do it.
As long as what?
Let's do it right now.
As long as in the comments they pay for, we'll have a whole wedding.
No, listen.
That's a condition. They pay for.
Yo, Davins, have you ever seen a wedding happen on live before? Just out of random like this?
We'll be the first one.
No, let's do it right now. Let's bring her on. I'm gonna send her the link.
Little did you know, he planned all of this to propose.
There you go.
Virtual wedding.
Virtual wedding. Bro, love you. Keep doing. Go ahead, bro.
Well, the last thing I just want to say, I just felt that in my heart to say it. Like I said, don't have unhealthy expectations. But one of the things
that we want to pull you back up on IG. Oh, something happened.
Yeah,
another request.
Oh, it's phone died. All right, go ahead.
My phone got overheated. So, but
they can still hear you. They can still hear you.
Okay. All right. One last thing I want to mention is, don't miss out on what God wants to do in your life by having that list. Because sometimes when you're saying, Lord, I surrender all, what surrendering all means that it really means you lose the ability to tell God no. So sometimes God will bring you somebody that probably doesn't meet anything on your list, just so that he can do something in your life. And many times we're like, Lord, where's my blessing? Where's that thing that you want to do? And one of the things that God does when he wants to do something with man, he does it through man. He does it through a man. Anything that God wants to do with man, he does it through a man. In order for God to save humanity, he did it through a man, Jesus the man. In order for you to listen to this good conversation, God did it through a man.
Yeah.
Irventz and Anne. So to close this out, if you're truly surrendered to him for real, you have to allow him to do what he wants to do in your life. And if you're gonna pray tonight, be like, Lord, I give you this list. It's not that your list is not valid. Sometimes it might be valid, but it's not his will. That's what I gotta say.
That's good, man.
You gotta come on back in here later.
We'll be back on. Thank you, bro. Good seeing you.
Thank you so much for all your wisdom tonight. We appreciate you. We love you.
God bless.
Bye.
Wow. What shall we say? Again, this is our very first live having guests. Did you guys enjoy our guests? Please show us some love in the comments if you enjoy our guests. If you had a great time. If you have any questions or comments, please, you could get and ask. I wish the system that we had a way to just bring people on randomly, but it's not the case on the platform that we are using.
My cousin Jane said you have to make sure you're matching that list also.
That's good.
You can't expect a person to be fit and you haven't even been to the gym.
Ooh, you can't even spell gym. You spell gym Jem. Okay, whatever. Guys, before we even close up with the questions, before we even log off, please do us a favor. Go to the subscribe page on the YouTube and subscribe to our page. We need your help to impact the algorithm. If you're on the IG, our YouTube page is Love Talks with the Garcons, all connected. Love Talks with the Garcons. Please subscribe to our YouTube
And y'all,
channel.
it's free to do that.
It's free to do that, and hit the notification bell so you know when we have the next one coming up. We are also on Facebook at Love Talks with the Garcons. Everything is Love Talks with the Garcon, and our IG is Love Talks _ the Garcons. All right, so we would really appreciate you guys if you mess with the algorithm, because things like this we want other people to be able to get.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, it doesn't hurt to hit the subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing. Babe, what shall we say to these things? Tonight was a great night.
Man, it was a great night. What are your final thoughts on the list?
The list shouldn't be something that is arbitrary, nor should it be something that is so strict. It should be somewhere in the middle. I think it's super important to know what you're looking for. What are you looking for in a partner? What are you looking for in a mate? And also, there is a God principle. Now, don't be, because even Ruth had to go and find Boaz and position herself to find Boaz. So oftentimes we tend to think, when I was younger, I used to think, okay, I'm going to sit down and the heavens are going to open up, and then the person's going to come down and be presented to me. That's not how it works. You definitely want the Lord to be part of it. You definitely want his will to be done. But at the same time, you have to have some level of flexibility, because that person might not meet every single thing that you're looking for, but they might be the best thing that could ever happen to you in terms of a partner. What do you think?
I think after all the conversation tonight and the different perspectives that were shared, my conclusion is that because God knows what's best for you. Like you know what you want, but because God knows what you need to refine you, to create you into all He needs you to be, create your list through prayer. Create your list in His presence. And it may sound super spiritual, but no, create your list as He's guiding you to create it. Create your list in parallel to the Word, so that everything that is on your list is something that you know God had part of. Because all that superficial stuff, it's superficial. Like,
Marie's so funny. Marissa, that's not your first. You guys were our guests, but it was for MB2L.
Okay, yeah.
That's for the MB2L, Marie. I stand corrected, but yeah, I got you. It's our first Love Talks with the Garcons where we actually have people on. Yeah, there you go. She realized that.
So he just said, when I met my husband, my list was tossed out the window.
Who said that?
Tahisha.
Nice.
Because sometimes you'll realize that the list is really not what you needed at all. You know what I'm saying? You'll reflect back on a list and be like, what was I thinking?
She said, I was like, what list?
Yeah, what
I would love to know what was on your list and how did you make that pivot, if you want to call it that, Tahisha. So next time.
She just said, God knows what you need, period. God knows what you need. And so when you create it, or even not have one, and just let Him create your list for you. And it's like, okay, God, he's not tall, but you gave me him for a reason. Yeah. So it must be some good in him.
Jane said, subject to
Keep
change.
your list as a subject.
You know what's so funny? I was gonna make a joke because they are my people. I could make that joke with them. Miranda wrote earlier. I can't find the message. She wrote something about Boaz. The joke was gonna be, because I know them, I clowned them that way. You end up with a junior. All right, Miranda, you end up with a junior. Junior is a category all of his own. Mm-hmm. That's my brother. They love that dude. Yeah.
Thank God for changing my. Absolutely. Wow. We realize that what we put on these lists are just like unnecessary sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. We just really want to thank you guys for rocking with us this long.
A whole hour and 37 minutes.
We really didn't mean to stay as long as we did tonight, but we had to really get into the meat and the bones of this topic. Yes. And just to encourage some of you guys, like if you have a list, go back to that list.
And my person, I'm going to say it, I don't know if they are still here. I'm not saying female or male. The person who inspired the live was here. I saw them on here. So hopefully, and I told that person on Sunday, yo, I'm using this as a topic for tonight. And that person was like, go for it. So hopefully this was helpful for you too, as the inspiration for the live tonight.
So go back and check that list.
Go back and check that list, brother, sister, brother or sister.
And make sure it's in line with what God wants for you.
Stephanie, do this. Yeah, Steph, we're here every Wednesday now. Every Wednesday. So subscribe.
Unless
unless it's a family thing. So please subscribe, and you'll definitely get you are on YouTube right now, Stephanie.
So once we come off of this live, if the subscriber count is still at 425,
we ain't coming back.
We got a bone to pick with y'all.
We got to be at least 430. There's still 26 of y'all on here right now. So we need the subscription
you guys
count.
on IG, going over to Love Talk with the Garcons on YouTube and subscribe. Help us out.
Yeah.
But yes, guys, we want to thank you once again for joining us and rocking with us.
I had a great time.
It's still not too late to share this link with
5 people.
Because so many people need to hear this. So much wisdom was dropped tonight.
Yes.
And we want to make sure as many people get it.
We want to shout out our guests one more time. We want to shout out the Sinceres, Peter and Maggie.
Again for coming.
Yeah,
thank you,
even with the little one next to you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Deborah, and thank you for my young bull Davins for being on here.
And thank you guys.
Thank you, and thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share this. We appreciate y'all. On that note, bonne nuit. Good night.